How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Black Metal Rebellion. I'm here to do another review for you today, and this time it is on the 2017 promo for Hematospermia. Now, Hematospermia are a slamming, brutal death metal band from the USA. It's kind of like an underground supergroup featuring members of Forlorn, Corpse Stove, Hateful Transgression, and Jesus Wept. So if you know any of those bands, you pretty much know what to expect, but maybe you don't. So what do I have to say about the new 2017 promo? Well, it's quite the juggernaut. It's a three-track, uh, little preview into what's to come, and one of the tracks is a Corpse Stove cover. So anyways, let's just jump into what's going on here. First off, the vocals are just a demented pair of shrieks and screams, combined with some deep gargly gutturals. The highs are performed really well, and the dichotomy works just great. The highs remind me of an early Chelsea Grin, and I mean that in a good way. I mean, I really enjoyed the early Chelsea Grin EP and Desolation of Eden. So if you enjoyed those types of screams or highs, then you'll definitely enjoy this. Of course, that's just my opinion. When you listen to this, you might hear something different, but that's what I hear. They're very freaky sounding, to say nonetheless, and the growls sound like I don't know, a pissed off fucking super mutant from Fallout. Maybe I just need to stop playing so much Fallout. Or if they like the idea, maybe they could use a picture of a death claw in some of their next artwork, because these vocals are just extremely monstrous. Great stuff. They're also about mid to high in the mix, so you'll definitely notice them. They're very in your face and ready to tear it off. Now, the guitars are about middle of the mix, just maybe slightly above. They're very low and grimy in tune, just extremely just chuggy slams. They also have a good use of pinch harmonics, just the chug 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 squee, chug 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 squee. It's kind of like a neat little riff they threw in there. They're just basically just not short of creativity in this. There's some nice technical riffs. There's a few bass drops for good measure, and just incredibly brutal sounding. And there's also some kind of groovy tremolo riffs, and they just sound like they had a lot of fun making these songs. As for the drums, they have a strong presence in this, needless to say. They definitely was not lost in the mix. The drumming complemented the riffs on this perfectly. Heavy, they were very heavy and on point. They had like blast beats and double kicks for fucking days. They also had very kind of snappy, hollow snares. The bass drum is just very powerful. And it's also kind of refreshing to hear the live drums in a brutal death metal or slam setting, you know, as opposed to like samples or just stuff that sounds very digital and not the greatest. The guy who's doing the drums for this is doing it very well. He utilizes his creativity with the room he's given within the riffs, and just like I said, just complements the riffs perfectly. And there's also a China that he uses in this quite frequently, but it's pleasant, it's not too overbearing, and it's not too overused. So good job to the drummer. Now for the bass, it wasn't quite noticeable at first glance. It's fairly low in the mix, and only kind of makes this solo short appearance in the first track called Emmett Till. And the only reason you notice that there's bass is because it's really low, and it kind of pops up in the middle of the track, and you can tell it's a bass, but it's also pretty mid to high distortion type of bass, and it adds kind of like a just overall deeper, fuller sound to the mix of the promo in general. So just at first glance you might not notice it, but when that small part in Emmett Till kicks in, you're like, ah, okay, so there is bass to this, and it does sound pretty interesting. My favorite tracks on this, even though it's like a 3-track promo, have to be the first track, Emmett Till, and the second track, I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. Not to say that the Corpse Stove cover wasn't good or anything like that. It is still very good. It was well performed, very just quite heavy. The only thing is it didn't have as many interesting elements as the other two songs did. I haven't heard the original version of the Corpse Stove track, Incession of Intestinal Excrement or something like that. However, I would be interested to go back and listen to it now compared to the Hematospermia version of it, just to kind of see what they did in this that was different and how they maybe amped it up or broke it down a little bit. If you have heard the original Incision of Intestinal Excrement song, let me know if you hear any difference from this to the original track, if I have not got there yet. But yes, Emmett Till and I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream are really, really good tracks of a variety of riffs, very interesting drum compositions, and the vocals are just incredibly insane. My overall thoughts for this 3-track promo is an incredible preview of hopefully what's more to come from Hematospermia. It's a blistering pulverizer of a promo akin to the violent eruption of an active volcano. It's short, it's sweet, and kicks you in the teeth, then proceeds to defecate into your ear holes. Long story short, you are not prepared for Hematospermia. But you still better go check it out because it's one kick-ass release, and I highly recommend checking out all of the tracks, even the Corpse Stove cover, and even check out the original version of that Corpse Stove song to give yourself a little perspective of what they changed. Cannot wait for new stuff from Hematospermia. I hear them possibly doing a split with Traumatomy and Disfigurement of Flesh in the future, which would be sick. Can't wait for that. And maybe even a full length. Who knows, but you definitely need to watch out for Hematospermia. I'm Jesse Morgan, and I did buy this album. It's good stuff. I guess I should show you what copy I got too. I got 47 out of 50, and mine even came with a promotional sticker with the logo on it. Very, very cool. Hope the split comes out soon and kicks a lot of ass. Cheers, guys, and stay sick.